Despite all of the challenges of the last year, we've continued to serve in furtherance of our mission, cultivating New York's South Asian legal community and serving our community at large by increasing access to justice, upholding the rule of law, and improving our justice system.
The diversity of SABANY's efforts reflects the diversity of our organization. Our membership has prosecutors and defense attorneys, judicial law clerks and future judges, in-house counsel and firm lawyers that will one day gun for their business, solo practitioners and big law partners, recent law school grads and seasoned professionals, and members from all over the South Asian diaspora.
Over the past year, we spoke out strongly about the fight for racial justice. We issued public advocacy statements and held open forums to reflect on our experiences of racial discrimination and how we could better support the Black community. We hosted panels on topics such as bail reform as part of a larger discussion on racial justice and criminal justice.
In 2020, we launched SABANY's Inaugural Mentorship program, matching 75 attorneys, law students, and young lawyers as mentors and mentees, and hosting workshops and panel presentations to meet the needs of new lawyers and law students. We also launched virtual interview and resume workshops for young lawyers to become more competitive candidates in today's legal market.
We hosted a pitch boot camp for South Asian counsel to land business with in-house clients, made recommendations to the New York court system on decreasing racial bias, and provided emergency relief funding to community-based organizations hardest hit by COVID-19.
We transitioned our in-person pro bono clinics to a virtual setting and continue to match pro bono attorneys with those who cannot afford legal assistance from our most vulnerable communities.
In 2020, we were proud to continue the Public Interest Fellowship in a completely virtual setting,
and awarded 4 outstanding law students with funding to complete public interest summer internships.
In 2021, we're excited to continue the Public Interest Fellowship for the 18th year running.
The COVID-19 global pandemic has disproportionately affected vulnerable communities in New York and around the world.
Affordable and/or free and accessible legal services for under-resourced individuals and groups has become more important than ever for issues ranging from housing, unemployment benefits, food security, healthcare, voting, and many others.
The Public Interest Fellowship will directly empower law students to respond to this urgent need of legal services and create a pipeline for the next generation of South Asian public interest leaders.
Our fellows were selected by a distinguished panel of judges and will be interning at Catholic Migration Services, the Georgia Public Defender Council Appellate Division, Queens Legal Services, and the Maryland Office of the Public Defender.
We thank all of our sponsors for furthering both the needs of the South Asian community and the public interest sector. The Public Interest Fellowships are made possible by the generosity of institutional sponsorships and individual contributions.
We thank all of our members for continuing to attend our events, serving as mentors in our mentorship program, participating on our panels, and volunteering their time as pro bono attorneys.
We encourage everyone watching to stay involved with SABANY.
We have big plans and are excited for your continued support
as we navigate the end of the pandemic,
the return to normalcy, and continue to serve our community.
Good evening. My name is Jai Chandrasekhar. I'm a lawyer at Bernstein, Litowitz, Berger, and Grossman, and I'm delighted to have been able to support this year's fellowship program with a matching grant from my firm. And I'm also delighted to be here this evening to have a short conversation with Mehak Gilani, who's one of our fellows this summer. So, Mehak, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Mehak Gilani, and I'm a first-year law student at Hofstra University, and will be graduating in May of 2023. And this summer, I will be interning at Queens Legal Services in the Housing Department.
What inspired you to apply for this fellowship?
I was inspired to apply for this fellowship because I think that coming from a South Asian descent, there is an aspect of community that's part of our fabric growing up. And so being around individuals who come from that same lens, I'm sure they have a really unique perspective on how to solve problems together instead of individually. And that's why I wanted to be involved with an organization where I get to work with individuals who think the same way.
I understand that you already have significant experience working for public interest organizations. Would you like to tell us about that?
Sure. So it all started when I was really little. I grew up listening to stories of my mother's frugal upbringing in Pakistan, and that made me very cognizant of my privileges and inspired me to work at nonprofits. And so when I got to when I got to undergrad at the University of Georgia, I found this organization that was the largest nonprofit in the world that's run by students. And through this organization, I was able to go abroad to Greece, where I worked at a nonprofit for Afghan refugees. And that made me realize how much of a need there is for empathetic advocates. So after I came back, I was inspired to learn more and also worked at the International Rescue Committee at Atlanta and taught refugees how to read and write English. And from there, I also did Athens Land Trust, where we assisted socially disadvantaged farmers. And I was also a fellow for a local representative in which I addressed the concerns of the immigrant population of the area. And eventually, this led to my decision to study law because the legal profession was the most suitable path for me to become an advocate for public interest.
So do you have a sense of what you would like to do after law school?
I'm pretty open to any field that's related to public interest, but my personal and professional experiences have shown me that my skills are mainly with immigrants and refugees also, but I feel like in any organization you will be working with immigrants, so I'm pretty open to that.
What has been your favorite class in law school so far?
I really enjoyed criminal law. I think civil procedure was my least favorite because it's a little less about people's interaction and more about procedure, but with criminal law you learn about the complexities of the issues that people deal with, and I enjoyed that a lot. I'm also taking immigration law next fall, so I feel like that might be close to beat.
How do you see the role of Asian American lawyers in the Asian American community?
I think it will only help the Asian American community because representing those marginalized people will lead to a greater good for society. And because empowering and empathizing those people who are systematically disadvantaged is the key to a prosperous future. And there will be easier access to information and resources to the community to fight injustices, because while the awareness of Asian injustices has recently come to light with the Stop Asian movement, these injustices are not new, and that's why the role of Asian American lawyers is so important to protect those people. So I think it can only help our community.
Where would you like to see yourself in 5 years or 10 years?
I think after 5 or 10 years, I would have enough experience to move on to something similar to SABANY, where there's mentorship involved, or where I can hopefully sponsor somebody who's also interested in public interest. So I'm hoping to get to the point that you all are at right now in 5 to 10 years after law school.
Thank you so much for your commitment to public service, and I'm delighted that you've gotten this fellowship for the summer, and I hope you have a terrific summer at Queen's Legal Services.
Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Sylvia Chen. I'm president of the Asian American Law Fund of New York, the 501c3 or nonprofit affiliate of the Asian American Bar Association of New York. And I'm very honored today to be introducing the recipient of this year's SABANY Fellowship Award. Her name is Dawa Lamo, and I'm going to let her introduce herself to you. Dawa, could you please tell us a little about yourself and where you will be interning this summer?
Yes, thank you for the introduction. My name is Dawa Lamo. I'm a first-year CUNY student at CUNY School of Law. Being an immigrant myself, I'm passionate about immigrant rights. Prior to coming to law school, I work as a paralegal where I handle business and family-based immigrations. I didn't get exposure to humanitarian-based immigration, so this summer I will be interning at Catholic Migration Services in their removal defense unit. I'm hoping that through this internship, I'll get exposure to cancellation of removal orders and deportation cases, as well as hone on my legal research and writing skills, which are really important skill sets for an attorney. I choose this internship opportunity because Catholic Migration Services serves a community which reminds me of the work that I want to do in my own community in New York. I'm an immigrant from Nepal and Tibet, and I believe that my first-hand experience combined with the knowledge I'll gain from working with Catholic Migration Services will help me to know how to best serve the large and diverse Asian community in New York, which is very dear to me.
Thank you, Dawa. That sounds great. Do you know exactly what work you will be performing with Catholic Migration Services during the summer?
Yes, so with interning with Catholic Migration Services, it will give me the exposure to immigration laws, the realm of the humanitarian rights. As an intern with the Removal Defense Unit, I'll have an opportunity to assist the attorneys representing immigrants before immigration courts seeking relief such as defensive asylum, cancellation of removal for lawful permanent residents and non-lawful permanent residents. I will also have the opportunity to observe attorneys in court or virtually online, which I have not experienced in my past employment.
Thank you, Dawa. What do you plan to do after graduation?
So after the graduation, since I'm interested in serving a community, I'm planning to work in a non-profit organization such as Catholic Migration or Adhikar, where I have volunteered before, and be able to advocate for my community people with the legal skills that I have acquired from the law school, definitely.
And how will receipt of the SABANY Fellowship funding help you during the summer?
So since my summer internship is unpaid and I'm also planning to take summer classes, I need to pay out of pocket the tuition fees. So being the recipient of SABANY and Albany Fellowship takes a huge burden out of my shoulder, and I will be able to focus more on my internship and get the best experience out and also acquire the skill sets that are important for me to serve my community and advocate for the best of my ability.
We're very happy to be able to be helping you during the summer, and really look forward to hearing about your experiences during the summer. Dawa, thank you very much for speaking with me, and I do want to offer to you our sincere congratulations, and we think it's wonderful that you have received this award. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm very glad and honored to be one of the recipients, and hopefully I'll be able to make a huge impact, or at least get the experience from this and be able to give back to our community. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jaysri Garanti.
Hi everyone, I'm Vital Kumar.
Hi, my name is Amol Sinha.
I'm very excited that SABANY will be going virtual for our annual Leadership Awards Gala this year, and I encourage everyone to attend. The Leadership Awards Gala provides attorneys the opportunity to connect with each other. It also provides us the opportunity to acknowledge the leaders in our profession and hear about their journeys. The gala creates an environment where we can inspire each other and encourage each other forward in our profession, whether through finding mentors or mentoring younger attorneys. During my presidency, we were able to fully continue the mission of SABANY thanks to the sponsorship dollars that were raised from past galas. Specifically, we dedicated a portion of the funding that was raised from previous galas to providing the public interest fellowships that SABANY has provided annually for years.
I think your support and your sponsorship of SABANY really gives legitimacy to the organization. And at a time where we're all continuing to work to diversify the legal profession, that we're trying to increase access to the profession, as well as ensure that there are sufficient advancement opportunities. To have this bar association really dedicated to working with a community that is rapidly growing, but still a pretty small minority within the profession, and have that recognition from supporters really does mean a lot to ensure the stabilization and continuance of this organization.
SABANY has always been a core and vital aspect of the South Asian community. We are connected to grassroots organizations and community-based organizations. We host pro bono workshops and clinics. We are educating the public every single day. And more we're expressing solidarity with the communities that have been hardest hit by injustice.
SABANY has amazing potential to do more with additional funding.
And we hope that we can continue to count on that as the year goes on.
So I encourage everybody to continue to sponsor SABANY, to make sure that it's as vital of an organization as it possibly can be, and to continue its growth into the future.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Sumit Guha. I'm the founder and partner of Perry Guha LLP, a boutique law firm focused in white collar and commercial litigation. And I've been a proud member of SABANY for over 2 decades now, during my prior stints at law firms and at the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York. And I'm really privileged and honored to be introducing you all to Krista Alexander, one of the SABANY Fellows for this summer. So Krista, if you don't mind taking a moment to just introduce yourself.
Great. My name is Krista Alexander. I'm currently a rising 2L at St. John's University School of Law. I had graduated from Binghamton University in 2018, and there I studied political science and sociology.
Well, Krista, I'd love to just get started with the exciting summer that you have ahead of you. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the internship that you're going to be undertaking with the Georgia Public Defender's Counsel's Office?
Yes, so this summer I'll be working for the Georgia Public Defender Council Appellate Division. So I'll be working with other indigent criminal defense attorneys on appeals cases that have come from trials, and I'm not too sure about the specific work that I'll be doing, but I know I'll be working and supporting attorneys on legal research and writing, and potentially helping with oral advocacy briefs. I know COVID has kind of changed the landscape of how the court system has been operating, so definitely looking forward to the summer and seeing what's in store.
Great. And to take a step backwards, Krista, what was it, if you can pinpoint it, that got you interested in pursuing a career in the law in the first place?
When I was in high school, I really enjoyed sort of reading and writing and crafting arguments. Specifically, I was in love with Model UN, and I really liked public speaking and kind of different sort of policy issues, and I think that got me first interested in being a lawyer and being an attorney. And then following that, when I went to undergrad, when I was learning about lots of issues to do with race and the law, I began to see lawyers and attorneys as kind of like these gatekeepers for change and sort of the exceptional advocacy that they give to individuals and clients. So I was really interested in kind of working with people interpersonally and advocating for them.
Great. Is there something, I guess, what are you hoping to get out of your experience this summer with the Federal Defender's Office in Georgia?
I think learning how to put in practice some of these legal research and writing skills I've learned in school. We've had to write briefs and different memos to supervising attorneys, and I just love to kind of put that into practice and get some use out of doing it under a time condition and when things are a little bit more high stakes. I'm hoping to have some experience with some actual clients, be able to talk and kind of talk through someone's case, and a lot of being an attorney is communicating with your client, so either to be a witness to that would be great, or to actually help in that. And I would love to see some sort of oral advocacy happen as well. This is the appellate sort of division, so oral advocacy is going to look a little different than a trial. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if that's a potential experience I can have as well.
Where do you see yourself in five years from now? I should say 5 years after graduating from law school.
At the moment, my primary interests are in indigent criminal defense. So I'll be graduating law school in about 2.5 years. So 5 years after that, I'm hoping I would be in an in a defense provider in New York City. There's many wonderful organizations in the city that represent individuals who can't afford an attorney, such as the Legal Aid Society, Brooklyn Defender Services, Neighborhood Defender Services of Harlem. So it would be awesome to work in an indigent criminal defense organization, and that's hoping where I see myself in 5 years.
Thank you so much for everything you've done. And honestly, the honor is for SABANY to be able to support you in the amazing work we're sure you're going to do this summer. So congratulations on receiving the fellowship, and we know you'll do SABANY proud.
Thank you so much for supporting as well.
Hi, my name is Anju Malhotra. I'm the director with the South Asian Bar Association of New York. I've also worked in the criminal law field for over 20 years. I'm proud to serve on the Public Interest Committee for SABANY, as we are commonly known, and I've been a judge for many years. I'm always happy to meet young people who are lucky recipients and well-earned, well-deserved recipients of a Public Interest Fellowship Award. Grainer, would you like to take it from here?
Yeah, thank you. Hi, my name is Grainer Givergis. I'm a 2L at CUNY School of Law. I'm interested in criminal defense, and I will be clerking with the Maryland office of the Public Defender this summer.
Well, that's fantastic news. Congratulations on that. Can you please tell me a little bit about your background and what is it that drove you towards public interest law?
So I am a South Asian immigrant from India, and what drove me towards public interest law was just knowing how over-policing of people of color and criminalization of non-citizens impacts our community. And I'm hoping with the valuable experience I gain working at a public defender's office, I will be able to be in a better position to defend targeted and over-criminalized communities, especially my own.
And is there anything particular, either in your personal background or any previous work experience that you've had, that led you to believe that this particular position with the Maryland Public Defender's Office would put you in the best position to carry forward with your mission?
Yes, I'm currently working with the Legal Aid Society in partnership with the Defenders Clinic at my school, CUNY School of Law. And that kind of got my foot in the door on working with clients, understanding what a real courtroom, what a real defenders clinic really looks like. And I think that experience really set me up well for this summer.
How will the award that you've received help you to obtain your goals?
The fellowship funding that I'll be receiving from the South Asian Bar Association of New York really takes the financial burden off my shoulders, so I can focus exclusively and completely on the important work that I'll be doing.
And how is it with this fellowship funding and the work that you're doing that you hope to give back to the South Asian community?
With the experience in criminal defense, I could do more to teach targeted communities how to preserve their defenses during stop and search. One of the individuals that was a participant in ending stop and frisk was actually an alumni from CUNY School of Law. And I think this experience with this knowledge, I can then represent people from our community in court, uphold their liberties, and at the same time, I can hold people accountable, those that violated those liberties.
Well, it sounds like you're working in the right direction in order to further your goals as a public defender. I want to congratulate you again on behalf of SABANY, and we look forward to having you become an active member of SABANY once you graduate from law school. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anju.